Hello guys, I'm going to show you today how I make my fluorocarbon leaders. So what you need are the swivels, fluorocarbon. I use 0.9 millimeters. I like to use the big ones, so it doesn't hurt it doesn't cut the fish as much. So yeah, I use that. Some shrink wrap. You can buy them in fish shops, or you can buy them in electrical stores also. Okay. The brass scrimps. So I use the double ones. I used to use the single ones, but I saw that the single ones got in the nylon, so I use now the double ones. Also the single swivels. Okay. The swivels with the spouts on. These ones I used 20 years ago. I don't anymore. These ones are the only ones I have left. I used them for the sea, but I don't use them anymore. Why? They can't go open like this. Okay, so those I do not use anymore. Then I used these also very big, but it's also normally for the sea or something. Those are also the ones I don't use anymore. So why don't I use these anymore? The difference with these, you have here a lock, so it traps it behind this lip, but if a lot of use, the lip deforms, and also the same, it just opens when you cast or you have a big fish. Okay, so no, those I don't use. Then I used these ones. I use them a lot. I used them a lot, but the same, the metal fatigue, you have a problem with that. They go open. If you fish them a lot, they go open. So I don't use them anymore also. Then I got this, not a bad spelt. So the only thing that I had with that is, you see here, this. It catches the dirt in the water or algae or something like that, and that was the only problem with this. It didn't I had no issues that it opened, but there was algae stuck in this. So I used them, no problem, I used them. But now I have another alternative, and I use these now. These I really like, and no issues. So they are very aerodynamic, and if you pull on it, it closes more and more. So that's what I really want. I'm sure the fish is not going to get off. Okay. So what we going to use, the fluorocarbon. Okay, so I use 0.9 millimeters. I said it before, I like the big diameters, because if you use littler diameters, like in steel wire or titanium, it can cut in the fish. So I like this fluorocarbon 0.9. Okay, the length that we use, you can choose 40 centimeters, 50 centimeters. I wouldn't go longer, or 30. It depends. I like 40, 30, 40. Okay, the fish is not going to say, ah, it's 40, you're going to bite it. No. So I cut it not straight like that. I cut it like that. Okay. This is not so long, I know. Just for showing you how I do it. Okay. Not straight, but like that. Why do I do that? When I doing the shrimps on it, the crimps on it, it's easier to get them on. Okay. So just doing a little bit. Okay. Yes. Okay. Oh, good. So now you have the swivel. You have this. Okay. And another tip is the thread. The fluorocarbon is 0.9, and these are the double brass crimps are 1 millimeter. So you have 0.1 millimeter. So it closes. It's very tight. Okay. Sometimes you have a little bit problem to get them in, but eventually. Come on. Yep. You see, it glides over it. No problem. You don't have to, when you tighten them, you don't have to give a lot of force to tighten them. If you use a lot of force, you can also cut into the nylon, and that's not what we want. So this over it. Okay. Then we go back, get it in the other tube. See, there are two diameters. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, important now is you have the loam where your leader is, and you have the bit that comes out here. And a good tip is you make a ball. Look, you melt it. There we go. So you make a stopper, so it never can come back in the tube. It's a safety. Let it cool a bit. Okay, now you're going to make the part you have the place for your swivel. So you take it in there. It's beautiful there against the tube. Then you pull it a little bit. This you can make so big as you want. I like it that it's almost the same diameter as the tube. Not too small, not too big. It goes like this. Yeah. Okay. You see? Okay. Okay. You see the stopper, it will never get out. Then we have also this the other side, an empty. It's all you have access to it, or still. So you can get it all over there, over the swivel, like this. Like this. Or you can say, I need some more movement in my bait, and you do this. Okay, so you have more movement in there. Okay, I like that. Okay, so I will measure it. Cut it away from the fluorocarbon. So that's one. Okay, for tightening it, the tube, crimp, brass crimp, I use this. Okay, I use this. I used to use this, but it doesn't work like it should. You can really hurt the tube, and no, I don't like it. It rusts. It's I don't. It's not my favorite. Okay, you can use it, but it's not my favorite. Okay, so I use this. You do this, and you clamp it a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. Okay, so don't over. And I do it at two times. I see the bush, the crimp. Okay, you don't have to be very harsh on it, so it's enough. Okay, don't press on it like it's not necessary. Okay, so now we do the tube. So when you heat it up, it needs heat to shrink it. Okay, so you will see. Be careful of your fluorocarbon that it doesn't bend or something. You'll see sometimes it bends a little bit. Turn it. Okay, see? So that is good. Why do I do that? It makes it more aerodynamic, dynamic, and also algae or something like that, or cannot get caught on it, and it's better for to fish with. Okay, so you have a nice swivel. Okay, now you're going to do the other side. It's easier. So you have these swivels. I have something to say about these swivels also. I always buy my swivels in the corner of the carp fishermen. They have very good stuff there. They look always to the camouflage things, and you have the blinky ones, and I don't use that. I use all the black ones, or I use these ones. It's it's not black, it's not shiny, I like these ones. So, okay, the same. But now we put on first the shrimp, the crimp, something like that. Okay, yeah. I do that on first. Yeah. Then I do the fluorocarbon in there. You see? Okay. Then the swivel. It's not difficult. Eh? Another tip is if you are using these fluorocarbon leaders, you see it's not difficult. So you can make some. Again, you make this, right? Let it cool a bit. If you make these, you see it's not very difficult. It's not expensive. So if you fish them, don't fish them very long times because these things wear out also, and it would be a shame that you would lose fish because you have a favorite leader and never want to. I know what it is. You have favorite leaders and you keep using them and they wear out, and then you get a big fish or something and you lose it. It's a shame. Everybody has the how it has experience of that, but change them. If you fish them 5 times, 10 times, get them in the trash and make some new ones or something. Don't take the risk. Okay. Be careful, it's hot. Here we go. So, here we go, you have the leader. So, this is how I make my leaders. This is a little bit too short. It had to be more than 0, but it's okay. Okay, so these are the leaders that I use. Very simple, very strong. Okay, goodbye.